Corin is asking how she can make her photos full screen. So let's cover that topic today. Before I describe exactly what you can do, let's just say that not every picture can be formatted to completely fill the screen, but you have other options. So let's just discuss what are the quickest ways and simplest ways that you can enlarge your picture to reduce the amount of black lines on either side. The first option is simply to use the cropping tool, which is this icon here on the toolbar menu. The way to do that is that you can then choose a ratio. Say you want widescreen, it's going to show you what will fit on a 16 by 9. You can see that you're not going to get everything in there. There's no way that you can fit this image on a widescreen and have it cover everything. However, in a portrait mode, yes, you could scale it up like this. But then you'd want to make sure that your whole project is in the portrait mode. So that is one way that you can do it. It's just simply using the cropping tool to the best you can. Now, the next thing that you can do, let's assume that we're again in the widescreen mode, and let's reset the image to the original size. Okay, so this is our widescreen mode. The second option is just simply to use the scaling tool and slide it up until you're satisfied it's as best as it can be. If you're going to change formats, portrait mode versus widescreen or landscape mode, you should do that before you place any images on the screen. And then everything that you put on the screen should be in the same format. Project settings, file, project settings allows you to choose what format you want. You want widescreen, you want portrait mode. It should be selected here first because it only applies to those things that you put on the screen after the selection is made. But let's say that you are doing widescreen mode, so we're basically keeping the same thing. There is another option you can do that will automatically crop your picture for you. Not necessarily the way you want it, but you go to File, and you go to Preferences, and you go to Editing, and here is Photo Placement. The default is fit. In other words, it's going to try to squeeze it into the format so nothing is cut off, and it's going to give you the black lines on either top and bottom or the sides. The other option is to change it crop to fit. If you choose crop to fit, it's going to take your image, and when you put it on the timeline, it's going to crop it as best as it can. And as we had already discovered by doing a manual cropping, the whole image was not going to fit on the screen. So this is one way that you can do it so that it automatically fills the screen. And again, that selection has to be made before the picture is dragged down to the timeline. Now, okay, so you see here that you didn't get the whole image the way you liked. So you could go into the cropping tool and you can say, well, what can I do? And you choose this custom mode here. In the custom mode, it allows you to stretch one side without deforming the picture. And I'll describe what I mean by deforming the picture in a second. So now you have the image, but you still have your black lines because that's the best that you can do for this particular image. Now, some people may say, well, I just want to drag, one side or the other side. That's what's done with scaling. You can scale things up just like you can crop it, and that's that tool. If you turn off this lock here, you are now disengaging the aspect ratio. That is the height compared to the width. And you can drag it out. However, it's going to give you a deformed picture, which is not what you really want. But here you can do individual dragging it out. And as you can see, it's a deformed picture, and it's not really what you want. My last suggestion would be that if you have a picture that doesn't really fit the cropping mode, and let's just reset it to its original size, go ahead and add a background to it. Make it a little bit creative. And let me just, for the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to get rid of this picture. I'm going to drag down this same picture, which I took out to a free service online that lets you colorize and enhance your photos. And as you can see, I didn't give them all I didn't log in an account, so I got watermarks on this. But that's besides the point. What we're going to attempt to do here is work with a photo that cannot be stretched to get rid of the black borders that we have here. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to make it slightly smaller, and then we're going to use the rotation tool to just kind of rotate it a little bit. Now, we can drag it up a track, put it on track number 2, and then what we can do is we can go over to stock media, for example, and we have solid colors and we have gradient colors. And if we stay away from these with the pink diamonds, these are the ones they charge an extra fee for using, and just look for the ones without the pink diamond. We can maybe get a background that is a little subtle in color, but just makes the background a little bit better. Actually, there's another way of doing this without doing what I'm doing now, but we'll do this first. And we'll just put this color down below it, and that gives kind of a nice image and a way to have it. The other option is to activate the background. And we activated the background on the wrong image. Let's select our photo again over here on the timeline and activate the background. Now we've kind of eliminated this, but we've added a little bit of a background. That may work for you, it may not work for you. In this case, it doesn't work particularly well. But let's say we want to add a drop shadow, make it kind of more of a 3D appearance. We could go down here and do the drop shadow option, and immediately we can see that we've got a little bit of a black border. We can choose how that border appears around our image. Where does the light source come from? We can change the color of it, which is not particularly nice, but if we wanted to do that, we could do that. We could maybe choose something more subtle. We'll just leave it at the black. The distance option moves the shadow out, makes it more of a 3D effect. And the blur option kind of just makes it either a sharp shadow or a blurry shadow, whatever. And opacity, well, that's kind of irrelevant. But I mean, if you wanted to make it more translucent, one could do that. So that is probably a better option than trying to fill the entire screen. But these are your options.